I'm Salad, and I saw Avengers Endgame. It is directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, and it stars Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. You also got the likes of Paul Rudd, and a bunch of other people, because this is Endgame. There's a lot of characters in this movie. It's quite crazy. This is the sequel to Infinity War. Infinity War, which ends with a bunch of people just dying, and now we have to figure out what is going on. What happened? Why? How are we going to solve all this issues? This is so big and grand. It's great. I'm so excited to review this movie. So, this movie starts with a Tony Stark. He's in space. He's losing oxygen, food, water, and he's about to die, right? There's nobody out there for him. He's so sad. He sends a message out to Pepper Potts. And he's like, oh, if you hear this, it means that I have died. I've lost oxygen and food. And I don't know how I'm going to send this out. And I'm just having a grand old time. And I'm just being alone on the ship. Also, speaking of alone, Nebula is also on the ship. But she is super just dependent. She doesn't need food or water or oxygen or whatever. She's fine. Tony Stark dies. She's not going to help him at all. It's whatever. It's cool. She's a robot. So it's expected of her to do this. However, some really cool person comes about. You got this flash of light. This flash of light's like, hey, I'm going to help save you. And so this flash of light's like, okay, I'm going to take you to Earth now, where you're going to be with your loved ones. Hooray! Crazy how that happened. Also, what happens, you get people going to Thanos. They're on this hunt to find Thanos, since it's been 23 days later after the snap. And the Avengers are trying to avenge like half the universe. So they find Thanos, he's in a weakened state, and pretty much immediately they're talking to him. Thanos is like, I've done everything. I've done what I wanted. I don't need any more of this. Because of this just the tragedy and the fact that he killed like half the population, Thor is so angry that he just chops off his head. And his explanation for this is like, well, he has to aim for the head next time. So I did. It's like, Thor, I mean, I know y'all were getting information out of it. I also understand Thor's position in why he's like, man, I'm just going to chop off his head. Like, there's no reason for this guy to be alive. So, let's go to 5 years. 5 years later, you got a bunch of people just living their life. Something cool that happens, you got Tony Stark and Pepper. They're together and they have a child named Morgan. And she's really cute and adorable. You also got the likes of Hawkeye and his family. He's with his family, he's just chilling out. He's having a handy-dandy time. Wait, actually, that was the last movie. This movie, his family gets completely wiped out, and he's executing criminals in the streets of everywhere. Mexico, Japan is where he's at the start of the movie, and it's just, he's cool. He's just a killing machine. He's like, well, half the population is gone. Why aren't you gone too, you scum and villainy? And then ka-chow goes their head. Kablow. Blood splatter everywhere. Ugh. Not really. This is a Marvel movie. But anyway, you also got the likes of, where is everybody else today? Captain Rogers is not here. Half the people are gone, snapped. Well, Captain Rogers is here, but he's just kind of about, everyone's just about being sad or on with their lives. I think Tony Stark's like the only truly happy one, because he's the one that like is like, okay, well now I get a family out of this. So, you know what? This was good. Hooray! Everyone has a big old brain idea. It's like, okay, we need to switch back time. We need to get everybody back. How are we going to do this? Well, here's an idea. Infinity Stones. Specifically, let's use the Time Stone to go back to when before Thanos had all the Infinity Stones and destroy Thanos. That's our strategy for right now. And it's a good strategy. They're getting all the Avengers assembled, going to Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is half Hulk, half human now. They're kind of fused together, which is cool. It's like he's constantly beefy now. I mean, Banner wasn't beefy. Now you got big old beefy Hulk. You got a bunch of people trying to get their signature with big old beefy Hulk. And you got a bunch of people recruiting each other, and it's so sad. Cry, big tears, energy, getting the likes of Hawkeye. You got some Natasha, she's here too. Steve Rogers, Iron Man, although Iron Man is quite reluctant on helping. But this entire team is assembled. Avengers assembled again. And there's this really cool shot. Everyone walking down this corridor. And everyone's like all slow-mo. And it's the sunlight's right behind them. It's like, oh yes, cool shot. Also, I should mention how they get Thor. Thor is fat. He's big old fat. But he's like a muscular god. So he has to be eating so much and drinking so much to lose this much of himself, lose so much control, because like even on top of his fat, he still has a six-pack, which is quite impressive. But he's just like chugging beers like it's nothing, constantly drunk. He has like some PTSD because he didn't stop Thor. He didn't stop Thanos. He felt like he could stop Thanos, but he didn't. And so all of this is his fault. All of his friends are dead because of him. And it takes a little bit of that sweet negotiation skills and trying to get Thor back. But once everybody is here, now it's time to locate the Infinity Stones. So, we all know the location of all the Infinity Stones, right? And how they're going to do the Infinity Stones, actually, they don't have the time stone. What they do have is Scott whatever. Scott was stuck in the quantum realm during the snapping. And once he's just like stuck in there for 5 years until this rat presses the button and releases him. It's like, oh, how did that rat get in that van? Has that rat been in there for 5 years? That rat would have been dead by now, I think. I'm not going to think about the rat, how it got in there. All that matters is that Scott Lang is out. He's stuck in this storage unit. He's trying to get the attention of this guy. The guy's security guy, and he's holding up a sign. It's like, help me. And so he gets escaped. No questions asked whatsoever. But now he has this big old device, and now big brains over here. You got Bruce Banner. You get the Hulk guy. You also got Iron Man. They're using their big old brains to solve this big old problem of this big old quantum zone. They eventually are like, oh, here's how we can tunnel through the quantum realm. The quantum realm is a bunch of tunnels you see that you split off, and it goes to this one specific dimension. There's a time GPS. They're testing out these this device. Like, how is it a successful time machine? How do we tell? Well, let's send Scott Lang back. Well, we're gonna send Scott Lang back, but we're gonna miss it so many times where he's old. I mean, well, he gets younger, then he gets real old, then he turns into a baby, and then he's normal age again. Then Tony Stark's like, hi, I'm smarter than y'all. I have this nice, fancy, smancy time GPS thing. And it goes on your wrist when you're going through this device. And now everybody's, now that plan has worked, everybody's going through this device to go back in time, to go to their place, to go steal the time zone, the Infinity Stones, just Infinity Stones in general. And there's 3 on Earth, okay? There's so many on Earth. They're going back and stealing it. You got Rocket's team steals the Reality Stone. Man, just everybody else is just like stealing the stones. Everybody's off on their own ways. It's a nice touching moment with Thor. He gets to see his mom before she dies. Like he goes back to the same day that she dies, and it's like, amazing. She gets to talk to him, and she's like, hey, Thor, you're actually not the worst. You can do it. You should believe in yourself more. And of course, he's like, yeah, no, I'm the worst person ever. But eventually, he's cool. He's also still worthy, but because he gets his good old friend, the Mjolnir, whatever it's called, and it's just like, he has it now. He has an axe and a Mjolnir, whatever it's called. Yeah, I can't speak correctly. Anyway, so now he has this cool weapon. And, along the way, Nebula's memory chip, or whatever, gets, entangled with another Nebula from 2014 when they're trying to get the stone. It's just like, Thanos knows of his future self's success and the Avengers trying to destroy his success. He's like, okay, well, obviously that didn't work, so I'm just going to destroy the entire universe now. And honestly, it's good adapting from good old pal Thanos here, because he's like, well, this is obviously flawed. I just need to create a new universe where everybody's good and handy-dandy, having a good old fun time, and no one's dying or anything. But killing the entire universe is just killing everybody. But anyway, now you got past Thanos is after future Nebula and future everybody. Thanos is now in the picture trying to stop these people from getting the Infinity... Actually, no. He's trying to get them to get the Infinity Stones, so he's like, now I have Infinity Stones. Now I just have this gauntlet. And, it's already made for me? Cool. And then I can just snap. Big old snap energy. And honestly, that snap, since Thanos wants to destroy the entire universe this time, doesn't need to do 2 snaps, because 1 snap is half universe, the other snap is the universe. Or is it just like 1 big old snap with so much willpower and dedication to it that it's just like irresistible to go passes the whole half universe thing. And it's the power of the snaps, just like, actually we're gonna go full universe. Like, what's the properties of the snap? Like, how will Thanos achieve this snap? Because the first snap almost killed him. The second snap will surely kill him. Anyway, there is no way that Thanos will ever get this, whatever it's called, because Captain Marvel is here. She's back. She was on Earth, and then she went away, and now she's back to save everybody, once they're all stuck in, like, positions, and by that they're on Titan, or some planet. They're fighting with Thanos. Thanos is like, hey, I want all these stones. And mind you, we should not give Thanos these stones, because our good friend Natasha has sacrificed herself to get the Soul Stone. Which is so sad. She was a good character, I liked her. But she sacrificed her life, so we better win. And also Doctor Strange is there, also saying to Tony, during this fight, it's like, hey, Tony, 1 chance out of a million. out of so many options that I forgot the number. And Tony's like, is this the one that wins? And Doctor Strange is like, well, if I tell you, it won't be. So it's like, ooh, someone's got to make a sacrifice here. And it's like high suspense. You got a bunch of people punching each other. This big old army appears. Thanos' army. You got the Avengers trying to keep their own. As I said, Captain Marvel comes. Then she tries to punch Thanos. She's overpowered pretty easily. It's like, okay, well, great. You got the Infinity Stones power wielder versus someone who wields the Infinity Stones, and that person was able to just outsmart you. Okay, well, that's disappointing. But then, big old plot twist, guess what happens? A bunch of people come in, big old, just so many people from all the universes, all the multiverses, all the dimensions, all the whatever. Just so many people come in, and they all start fighting. And there's a big old battleground. Pow, pow. Murder, death, kill, slash, decapitation, jab, shake, punt, you know, that stuff, those adjectives. And it looks dire. It looks like Thanos' entire army, it looks like he's going to be the victor. But you know what? Tony makes the sacrifice. He takes the stones, right? He has this modification in his arm. And the coolest sentence, right? Thanos is about to snap because he has the gauntlet, but the gauntlet's empty. And then you got Iron Man. He's like, I am Iron Man. He snaps and he dies. And it's like, it's so sad. Tony Stark's dead. No, how could this be? This is the worst thing ever. This is so tragic. But it has helped everybody by killing Thanos' army. Wow, it's raining, whatever these needles are. We're back at the funeral with Tony Stark. Tony Stark's so sad. By sad, I mean he's dead, and everybody's so sad about it. But hey, Peter Parker's back, and he's cool. All these other wacky characters are back, except for Natasha and Tony, and I think Steve Rogers is gone too. All the sacrifices that these people had to make for the half of the universe to come back. So great, and I must applaud. And that was, the end of the movie is like, everybody's off and doing their own thing. Amazing. Hawkeye gets his family back. That's so great. That's actually really touchy, lovey, dealy, feely in my hearts, because Hawkeye's family is like the most wholesome thing ever, and I love his family so much. And I gotta give this movie some review before I give it a number. I liked that movie. It is very moving. It's a 3-hour movie. It's a little long, but it definitely is super dramatic, and it helps clean up the Avengers line really nice and neatly. No more Thanos, no more Infinity Stones, probably. And it's just, I love it. It was a good movie. All the colors, all the characters, all the sacrifices, all the character development. From the first Iron Man to now, you get to see Tony Stark has changed completely. Now he's willing to sacrifice himself for the fate of everybody else. And in the first movie, he wasn't like that. So it was good. It was great character development on that part. And otherwise, I gotta give this movie a solid 8.5 out of 10. And if you liked that content, I have more content on our Patreon at patreon.com/ASCpresents. For $3 a month, you get some daily vlogs with some extended mid-salad saws, plus some me vlogging, me daily recapping, all of that stuff, all the handy-dandy stuff. And for $20 a month, after I do the MCU movies, you can request me to do a movie. Hooray, how great is that? So go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/ASCpresents. Until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see y'all later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.